Person listening to this show that doesn't know my next guest, maybe you bought a shirt off him, maybe he put you into a suit for your wedding day or for some other special occasion. Maybe you've encountered him recently as something of an internet sensation. Could only be Eamon Cunningham from EJ's Menswear. Eamon, good morning to you.
How are you, Daniel?
Good.
How are you?
Great, and intrigued and delighted that you've taken the time this morning to come in and have a bit of a chat with us. I want to start with what I mentioned there, that last point. You have become something of an internet sensation. For anybody who hasn't seen some of the videos that you've been doing and posting online, what are they and why do you do them?
The whole social media side of things for us now in EJ Menswear is really big and very, very strong. You know, our Facebook page is really strong and there's a lot of focus on it, and that it started off as a bit of a fun thing, you know, to launch a sale. You know, we have to do something different to catch people's imagination or whatever. So I think the first one we done was I came through with a sign at the back of the shop with a chainsaw, so we were cutting everything in half. It helps us to launch our half price sale. So as everything was half, so we cut this in half. Then the next one I came through the sign on a Honda 50, and the next one I done a bit of karate, and you know, the last one, you know, McGregor.
You were Conor McGregor-esque in the last
one.
It was lovely. He's
very topical at the moment, and it was just a week after he had his fight over in Vegas and that. So I thought, I was looking at myself in the mirror one night, and I thought to myself, I wonder, could I pull this off? Yeah, maybe could I do a bit of Conor McGregor? So so we went for it anyway, and it worked out really, really well. As I'd say, they're nearly so bad they're good. Like, we enjoy them. We do them in one take. It launches our half price sale. When someone sees, you know, a big video like that, they know there's something happening in EJ's.
So tell us a little bit, for again people who may not have seen them, what length are they?
The length normally, you know, like 1 minute, maybe max, 1.5 minutes max. There's a lot of kind of, you know, trying beforehand, a lot of preparation, but like, we only have one sign. We give our big half price sale. That's the focus. That's the start of our ad. And you know, I managed to come through it, whether it be with a chainsaw on a Honda 50 or jump through it or box my way through it as I did with McGregor. So once I come through that sign, I just got to keep going. So, and you know, put the whole lot together, and you know, my lack of acting skills, and I'm afraid they just end up, you know, we get a laugh out of it. I get a good laugh myself. So,
you know, I know it's a laugh, I know it's funny, but in a very serious business terms, it's been hugely successful. It's really helped put you into people's Facebook feed on a daily basis. How many sort of likes have you got in your most successful one of those? How many views would you have got?
With the Conor McGregor one, we have over 250,000. 250,000 views, and that's only on our own page, but a lot of the national press and further afield picked up on it. You know, you had Joe.ie, you had Irish Times, Irish Independent, radio stations in Dublin were rigging us. They all had it on their own site. So from the views on our own, 255,000 is we moved on from a point. It could even be more, but
does it translate to the bottom line? Because to get that sort of reach, that sort of exposure, that's amazing. In terms of effect on your bottom line, do you see more people coming in? Do you see a pickup in business when you do one of these videos?
Yeah, like, certainly it's like at the stage it's at now, because we've done so many of them, it's nearly a signal. Look, EJ's big sale is on. We only have 2 big sales a year. We, you know, one in August and one in January or whatever. Like, in between that, like, the rag trade is a really, really serious business, and we work really hard at our business. And we, you know, it's like the menswear business. You know, we're servicing people for weddings or, you know, big events and whatever, and we take it really, really serious. The video thing is something that has started, and it was a fun thing, and it has developed. It catches people's imagination and whatever. It gets people talking about it in the pubs, in the clubs. You see, EJ's, you know, launched the sale again, had the big video, blah blah blah. But in between all that, we work really hard our business. You know, we take it really, really serious.
Well, let's go back, because you're 21 this year, and I don't mean you personally, although you pass easily for Conor McGregor, not a bother on you. But you're 21 years in business in Sligo this year. Tell me about how that, as you call it, the rag trade, has changed in this area across the northwest. And I know the big move is the big next step that you're taking isn't to, you know, an online shop, and I want to chat about that. But the last 21 years, bring us through that.
The last 21 years, when I first started, it doesn't seem like 21 years, but I opened up in 1994. I was after serving 17 years in Horns Menswear. We traded in Castle Street. That was, like, to my mind, like at that time, the busiest trading street in Sligo town. It had everything, everything you wanted from every walk of life. Whatever you wanted to go shopping, it had it in Castle Street. I had 17 years of good hard training in Horns Menswear, and I opened up, as I say, in 94. It was like, the shop wasn't much bigger than this room, Daniel. I know it's kind of about 400 or 500 square foot. It was tiny. I seen one of the lads that I knew was doing a bit of work on it, and I knew I just like to look into it. I knew that was it.
It felt right.
It felt right. Like I've always went with my gut instinct. I just looked at that. I mightn't have had the confidence to do it, or I thought about maybe opening up my own business. But when I looked in the door, I looked at the location, the size of it, and I said, that's it, and like from there on in, that's how it started. I had no money. I went to the banks. I was looking for about 4,000 or 5,000. Couldn't get the money.
And that was in 94.
That was in 94. Couldn't get it. I went to a couple of banks, a couple of suppliers that had built up a really good relationship, through trade. So they helped me out to give me the extra bit of credit, maybe an extra 60 days credit, and pay me bills and that. So that's how it started.
It's an anxious 60 days.
It was, and I was, I have to say, looking back, it was, a really nervous time, because it was a big risk, and whatever. But I knew what I could do. Like, I had the experience at the business. I really enjoyed it. And like, I just went for it. I didn't certainly go into business thinking, I'm going to make money in here. Like, I just opened that shop because I enjoyed the business. As simple as that,
Is that good advice for young entrepreneurs now? If you were meeting them, would you say to them, follow your gut? Would you say, if you have a passion for it, you're going to be successful in it? Two nice little pearls of wisdom there.
Absolutely. Like, if I had to say, like, it was on a chart, it was to go 1 to 5. Money would be the 5th thing. Like, it might be, it's kind of probably the most important, like, because you can't survive in a business without good cash flow. You can't survive in a business without money coming in. But if you have the first couple of things, like, number one, like the knowledge of what you're doing, and you have got the good work ethic, and like, prepared to work hard with it, and you have the the confidence that you can do it, you're going a long way there. Like, after that, things just fall into place.
And bring us then from Castle Street to your current place, where you took over the old bank there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building. How long have you been in there?
Yeah, we're in the bank. I bought it. We moved. We had, like, in the middle of that, we had another premises. It was across the road from where I opened, so we hadn't a big move. It used to be Focus Ladies Store at the time, so that closed down. It's about 1,500 square feet, just across from Lady Aaron. So it was a really good location as well. That was a really big move at the time. But we were there about 3 or 4 years. Then the Bank of Ireland came on the market, and we were trading really well, and it's kind of, I thought to myself, remember just chatting in the shop, the lads in the shop, when it was advertised in the Sligo Champion that day, I said, I'm going to try and buy that, So look at, it happened, and it happened at the time, like, it was for tender on the end of September, like, 2001. In the meantime, 9/11 happened. Okay, so the guide price, the asking price that we're looking for this property, it just came way down. A lot of people got scared. They didn't know what was coming down the road, the world economy and different things. I went with my gut instinct again. I knew what I could do with this building, and I knew what I could turn it into, and it came down within my price line and that, and I went for it, and
And you have now this fabulous city centre, prestigious building, great location. You've got your main shop outlet at the front. You drive a value proposition pretty hard, I think. It'd be it's hard to beat you in terms of value. You're always driving that pretty close to the front of the shop. You've got the suits down at the back, etc. And I know you do the formal wear, etc. as well.
Yeah.
But now the next step for you is beyond the physical presence. You're going to online.
Yeah, look, as we have, like, EJ's has developed it into a shop. Like, we have people shopping in EJ's from all over the country. Like, generally, people, they love the Sligo area. They might come to Sligo twice a year. We see them in twice a year, and to come in and buy a bit of gear, and to have the crack with the lads, and they go home happy or whatever. EJ's has kind of gone from, it's the next level. We have customers, we have loads of lads that immigrated and they're the other side of the world, a lot of good customers, and they still like to keep in touch with EJ's, you know, in some shape and form. So we've been asked a lot about it over the last 2 to 3 years, but it really is a big ask and it's a big thing to take on. So certainly over the last 12 months we've put in a lot of effort to go online.
I wonder, you've touched on something though which is very important, because you have these connections with your customers that maybe your average clothes shop mightn't have. I go in, I buy clothes in a shop, that shop will never cross my mind again. Whereas I know when people go into EJ's, they're chatting to the lads, there's this atmosphere in there, this sort of collegiality about the place, and it is a great personality as a brand, and obviously that's why you've been able to bring through what you've done in the videos. But your shop has got a great personality. How did you engender that?
Like, I never call EJ's mine. You know, if I talk about EJ's, it's ours. Like, you know, the boys are so much part of it, like the whole staff down there. It's not mine and it's not me or it's not I, like it's us, you know. It's part of, you know, the work that has to be done down there. Generally I'm stuck in the middle of it, you know, maybe a little bit less lately, but I wouldn't ask anyone to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. We have a little bit of fun. I enjoy the confidence that they have. I enjoy their enthusiasm about the whole thing, and you know that gives me motivation as well.
When there's a difficult month in the bad times, and God knows it's been difficult over the last couple of years for every business.
Yeah.
You know, in those difficult months when things are tough and things are tight, how do you keep that sort of from filtering down onto the staff and upsetting them? How do you keep everybody happy and content and focused?
Yeah, it was, I'd say, you know, 2007, not so bad, but 2008, 2009 and 2010, they really were 3 really scary years. We were, you know, there was times on a Saturday you're kind of sitting there. We went from a really, you know, kind of very intense and really busy days. We went from you're waiting on a customer to come in the door and people just stopped spending. So, like, we had to evolve and we changed, and that, you know, the staff, you know, everyone kind of worked together. You know, they worked, you know, they had to take the pain as well as, you know, EJ's. We were all there. We were kind of one team. You know, they worked the extra few hours. We'll say, for example, the staff work Sundays for free. You know, that's how it was. But they didn't lose any hours. You know, their hours weren't cut or whatever. There was still good buzz around the place. We tried to keep it interesting. Try to keep it. You know, we'd be strong at the marketing. Yeah, you are. It's, you know, like anything that was going, you know, we were going for it at the time. But it really was a tough time. The recession kind of, you know, it has changed our business, because the recession, you had to go out and you had to seek new brands and you had to chase new product, and still had to be good quality that we like to always give, but the price had to be right for people. And out of that, like, a lot of brands have evolved and they've changed as well. So we've got some really good suppliers, you know, like really good quality at really good prices. And, you know, we drove that message home.
And so you're going to bring that online now. And to go online in the way you're planning is no small thing. You're not just banging up a wee bit of a website. You're putting your full stock, your full shop, everything up online. You're going to be able to facilitate orders around the globe and hopefully grow and develop a whole new strand to your business. Yeah,
well, you know, I'd say around the globe might be a little bit pushing it a wee bit. Like, if we have a customer in America or a customer in Australia, certainly it's great to get it. But, you know, our target is going to be the Irish market. I know we're only a small country, but it's still a big market. You have up to 5 million people in between north and south. And, you know, the main, as I say, you know, we have people in Dublin, we have people in Cork, we've people all around the country, you know, that come and shop in EJ's. They're selling our product as well, because they're telling their friends or whatever. So, and we'll certainly take a different view on the marketing side of it. We'll try and get our name out there. We feel maybe next day delivery will be a very good thing for us. You know, like we're going to have a lot of competition. You have ASOS or whatever, they're all out there, the big boys. But, you know, it takes them 2 or 3 days maybe. That's one of the angles we'll take. Buy it today, we'll have it tomorrow for you. Things like that. And plus, people will have that recognition of your online presence through the videos. It's sort of your experience of 21 years in this trade, and then some
17 odd years previous to that, you know, and, you've had a lot of experience. You've had a lot of contacts with great suppliers, as you say, giving you great quality. And to be able to have come out of this recession as a better, tighter company, one that has kept your staff interested, intrigued and on board, and heading into a whole brave new adventure in terms of online sales, to me, I think is commendable, straight out of the Harvard Business School book of how to do things.
Yeah, funny. Well, I find, you know, myself personally, we always have to be looking ahead. You know, I'd never kind of sit back if we had a bad day today. Like the minute we walk out the door, it's over and it's done with, and we're thinking of tomorrow, and whether it be something good happen during that day. Like whatever happens has happened. Like you know, it's just the personality that I am or whatever. You know, I'd never sit back, and it was always pushing ahead, and there was always something new down the road. So, you know, the online thing was, as I say, was something that was there, it was always in our minds. But like the core of our business, you know, still, like it won't change the way we work in EJ Menswear. You know, we have the staff, we have the product, we have the prices, we have the quality. You know, we have a formal hire business that's catering for about 300 weddings a year.
Wow.
Each wedding has to be 100% perfect, you know. It's just such a busy spot to be around. We've 2 tailors on the go full-time, alterations. We don't charge for alterations. No matter what shape or size a customer is coming in that door, they go out the door, fit it. Sometimes, more times than not, the same day. You know, with people travelling, one of our strengths there, people come in the door and say, look, I need a suit or whatever, but I'm going back to wherever I am tomorrow, Galway or wherever. So look, we'll have it altered for you. We've our tailor upstairs.
Well,
so they're going out the door happy.
And it's that focus on customer service that I think's at the core of your business, and it shows because of, you know, how you've invested in your marketing, getting your brand out there, and it has brought you out the far side of this recession as a much better company, one that I think a lot of people can learn from. And what you've done both online, in store, with your staff, everything, to be commended. And Eamon, it is great to see you continuing on to greater and bigger successes. And we await the next instalment of your videos with bated breath.
You'll be first to know, Daniel.
Well,
thanks.
I want to thank you for coming in and joining us on Up and Running.
Thanks, Daniel.